Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thanks for joining me. I definitely appreciate it. And for you new viewers, thanks for checking out my channel. I hope you like what you see. Now today I'm going to review a type of watch that I don't normally review, and that's the Homage. I've just never been a fan of people that really can't, create their own designs that, basically rip off other companies. And I just don't, I don't promote these type of watches. I don't buy these type of watches. I really don't like these type of watches, but I figured, you know what? I haven't reviewed one in, gosh, a very, very long time, if ever. I can't remember actually ever reviewing an Homage. I might have, I just can't remember. But, I said, let's take a look at this thing. It looks really close to the original. So what we have here today is the ADDIESDIVE Seiko Sumo Homage 200-meter automatic diver, and this is model number MY-H10. And guys, it's one of the best Homage watches I've seen out there. It's really, really close. Let's check this thing out. All right, guys, we'll get into this thing, but first check out my Amazon shopping channel if you'd like any of the other watches I've reviewed on my channel. I do get a very small commission if you buy from my Amazon store, so I definitely appreciate it. Also, make sure you check out my watches for sale playlist for the latest watches I'm selling on my channel. You can save yourself an absolute ton of money. And if you want to be a supporter of the channel, check that out in the description field as well. So here is the ADDIESDIVE packaging. Good old made in China right there. Just a real simple outer watch box. You've got a Pelican style case here, something a little different. I'm not quite sure why the logo is offset. I'm not quite sure why they did that, but anyway, you got 4 clips. Take these off here. All right. Not a bad little presentation box. It's really all you need. And there it is. And when I first saw it, online, I was like, wow, that looks pretty dang close. Obviously, besides the Seiko Sumo text, the Seiko logo itself. I mean, obviously it's an Homage watch, but it looks really, really accurate so far as the case goes, and the bezel and some other things. So here's your first look, and I'll get to what you get here in the box here in just a second. I mean, at first glance, it does look really, really similar. It really does. I was really impressed. All right. We'll go ahead and talk about this more in just a second. Here's what you get in the box. You get a pin removal tool right there. You get a ADDIESDIVE Deep Sea Hunter. That's the actual name of this watch. I'm just going to call it the Seiko Sumo Homage, but it's actually called the Deep Sea Hunter Automatic. There you go. You get a little manual right there, and that's about it. All right. Let's put all this stuff back. Get this out of the way. All right, let's talk about this watch. So I'll go ahead and give you all the 7 specs you need to know, then I'll put the rest of the stuff down there in the description field for you. It's got a 44.5 millimeter stainless steel case. It's 14.5 millimeters thick. It's 50.5 millimeters lug to lug. It does come a 20 millimeter stainless steel bracelet. It's 200 meters water resistant, which is 660 feet. Interestingly enough, it's got a Seiko movement inside, the NH35A, with about a 41-hour power reserve. And for the crystal, you get a synthetic sapphire with an AR coating. So again, when you first pick this up, it's very similar. And obviously, unless you know about Seikos, or Sumos in particular, you're not really going to kind of question it until you obviously look closer and see there's no Seiko text, there's no Sumo text, there's no automatic text, no Prospex logo, all that good stuff that people that know Seiko watches know, they know what should be there. Obviously, it's missing all of that. It has a ceramic bezel that is also lumed instead of the original non-lumed aluminum bezel. You got a signed crown over here. Again, the text down there at the bottom is different. The text on the bezel is a little bit different, but man, it's really, really close. The handset is super close. The indexes are really close, even down to the chromed bezel around each index. The hands look really, really similar. I mean, I have to say this, they did a pretty good job for an Homage watch The case is what really amazes me, though. This case, I mean, look at the detail, even on the case, where you see where the bezel is kind of sunk into the case. You've got the curves of the case, the drilled lugs there, the polishing. I mean, it's really, really similar, man. And then look at the crown. You got the signed crown with the ADDIESDIVE. It's a strange name. ADDIESDIVE logo right there. In fact, let's go ahead and check this crown out real quick. Wow, decent crown pop. And I know it does hack. There you go. Of course, you know, you got the NH35A movement. Nice. Wow, nice winding action. Let's go ahead and screw it back in. Man, I mean, even the crown feels like the real Sumo crown. This is kind of weird, man. I mean, I'm kind of liking this thing, but I'm not liking it because it's an homage. I just don't like people that can't make up their, you know, their own designs and be creative and be original. And, you know, I don't know why Seiko, and they might already be suing the crap out of these people, but maybe they can't because it's not actually, you know, a copy. It's not a knockoff. It's just an homage. So I don't know, man. But even the weight, it has the weight of a real Sumo. I actually weighed these. These are 10 grams heavier. This is 185 grams. The real Sumo is 175 grams. I mean, you've got supposedly Super-LumiNova C3 in here. Whether that's true or not, I mean, any of the specs that you see on this thing, I would honestly take, you know, with a grain of salt. It is made in China. China's not exactly worried about, you know, intellectual property rights or anything like that. So I wouldn't really take any of the specs you see, even the case dimensions, all that stuff. Again, take it all with a grain of salt. But it looks and it feels like a real Sumo when you first look at it and feel it. It's got that heft. I mean, it's now when you actually do a close up on the dial, you can see where the text is not as crisp and as sharp. And that's just because they obviously don't have the same manufacturing prowess as Seiko does. But from a distance from right here, I mean, it looks pretty dang good, I have to admit. And I hate to admit that. I mean, oh man, I hate to say this. It's a nice watch. It's not a bad watch. Obviously, you don't get the diver's extension on this bracelet, but even the bracelet looks pretty similar. You've got the little interior polished surfaces right there. You don't have any sort of logo on the buckle. And again, you don't get a diver's extension. You get a really cheap pressed clasp right there. The back of the watch has got the ADDIESDIVE logo. What a strange name, ADDIESDIVE. I don't understand that. But anyway, they you know, the Chinese name their knockoff or their homage watch brands, they give them some strange names like Blurix and ADDIESDIVE and a whole bunch of other, like, what was the other one? Benyar and all sorts of strange names they give these things. But I mean, it's, you know, it's a screw down crown. It's, guys, I have to say, man, it's kind of a nice watch. And that really does pain me to say that. Even the bezel, I mean, this is a loomed ceramic bezel. Again, instead of the non-loomed aluminum insert that the real Sumo has. It's got nice click action, 120 click, really, really tight click action. And they got the text for the numbers almost identical. And look at this, it lines up perfectly. Gosh, look at that. Even an homage, a Chinese-made homage watch can line up the bezel better than Seiko does. That's a damn shame. Anyway, but I mean, look at it. I mean, I mean, you know, these are around $200. I'm not going to promote this watch. I'm not going to give you a link to this watch. If you want one, head on over to Amazon and get one. I'm not going to put it on my store, so I'm not going to make any money if you buy these things. But, you know, if you want one, head on over to Amazon. And actually, ADDIESDIVE has their own website. This is not a sponsored video. They didn't send me this watch for free, nothing like that. I just kind of wanted to show it to you. I actually kind of wanted to show it to myself. I wanted to check this thing out and just see how close they could get to the real Sumo. And besides a couple, you know, glaring differences that are on purpose, like this bezel, you know, would Seiko maybe possibly in the future, you know, put a ceramic bezel and loom the bezel on a future Sumo? I mean, it's something I might want to think about. This is kind of a nice little touch. I mean, overall, guys, like I said, it's a pretty nice watch, and it really does pain me to say that because it is an homage. But man, it's the weight only being 10 grams difference, getting the font on the bezel correct. Looks like this is the font for a 2nd gen, by the way. I mean, it's, man, I don't know why though people do this. I mean, these are around $200. A real Sumo is, you know, give or take $400 or $500 more. Obviously, you don't get the 6R15, but you do get a pretty nice Seiko NH35A movement. You're getting a Seiko movement inside of a Seiko Homage watch, which I think is kind of like 2 parallel universes crossing together. Or if you went back in time and met yourself in a previous time, if you shook each other's hand, would that annihilate the universe? I don't know. I can't really explain it. So you're getting a Seiko movement inside of a Seiko Homage watch, which is just kind of blows my mind. But man, it's not bad. It's really, really not bad. They have a couple Homage style watches on their website. And again, I'm not promoting them, but I mean, I hate to say it. Again, they did a pretty dang good job with this thing. I mean, look at the bezel. Look how it's sunk in right there to the case. And just the case alone, the curves of the case are very, very similar, guys. Really, really similar. So if you want to save yourself, you know, $400 and you don't mind wearing an Homage watch that actually, again, has a Seiko movement, I mean, this might be the watch for you, man. For me, I wouldn't be caught dead with something like, you know, this on my wrist. That's just me personally. I'd rather go ahead and save up, get the real deal, because if somebody is a watchaholic and they come up and they say, oh, nice Sumo, and you're like, oh, well, it's not really a Sumo, it's an ADDIESDIVE, they're gonna be like, what? You know, it would be embarrassing for you, it'd be embarrassing for them because they asked you. You know, if you just saved up the extra $400, got the real deal. I don't know about the longevity. I don't know about the craftsmanship of these. How long they're going to last. I have no idea. But again, from first impressions, it feels pretty good. At least it's definitely got the weight. You know, I don't know about the craftsmanship and the construction. No idea if these things are going to last a long time. But you never know. But you know, it's just one of those watches where I just really wanted to take a look at it and see for myself how close they could get to an actual Sumo. So let's go ahead and try this thing on, and then I'll give you a Lume shot here. All right. There it is. I mean, it's a good looking watch. I mean, it looks like a Sumo. There you go. All right. Man, even the push button clasp for the bracelet, I mean, that looks like a Seiko bracelet, man. Look at that. That's crazy. All right, let's go ahead and kill the studio light. Let's give you a Lume shot here. And again, I don't know if this is actually C3 Lume, so, you know, take it with a grain of salt. I do like the Lume bezel. That's pretty cool, man. I wish Seiko would do that on the real Sumo. There you go. Man, that's pretty dang good Lume. I'm betting that probably is, you know, really C3 Lume. Gosh darn it. I hate the fact that I like this watch. And that Lume is not fading at all. Wow. Holy Moses. Dang it. I hate that I like this watch. All right, let's go ahead and cut everything back on. And again, if you want to get one, I'm not going to give you a link. I'm not going to promote it, even though I kind of already did. But head on over to the website if you want to get one. Head on over to Amazon if you want to get one. You can get them both places. I think you can also get these on AliExpress and probably 3 million other different, you know, Chinese shopping websites. So guys, I mean, tell me what you think about this watch. Do you like these Homage watches? Do you care? Do you dislike them? Do you hate them? Are you indifferent? I'm really curious to see what you guys think about these type of watches. This is actually one of their newer models. I think this came out maybe a couple months ago. They have a couple like Rolex homages. They have a Marine Master homage. They have a Captain Willard homage. They've got a couple different ones. So, you know, just tell me what you think, man. Tell me what you think of these Homage watches in general. All right, guys, that's been about it for today. If you like my content, and I really hope you do, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you click that notification bell. I really appreciate it when you do that. And that's been about it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next review. Take care. Bye-bye.